Welcome to Above the Net, where we touch on everything in the realm of MHSAA girls volleyball. I'm your host, Lexi Ayala, joined by our state champs volleyball analyst, Vince Muscat. We're on a day early so we can preview some key regional finals that are happening on Thursday night. We're presented by Lawrence Technological University. You can recruit yourself at ltuathletics.com. But let's get right into our volleyball regional semifinal coverage from Tuesday night, and we start in Division II. As Pontiac Notre Dame Prep took on Warren Regina, these teams met in last year's quarterfinals, and it would be the Fighting Irish that would come through with the 3-set sweep.
We're 1-0, and we'll be 0-0 tomorrow. Looking for a win. So it's just the next game. We want to get the right, work hard enough that we can get the right to play one more day. And so if we keep doing that, that's our mindset. Let's do one day at a time, get a little bit better at every practice, and then we just want to win one more game right now.
Notre Dame Prep is still missing their Miss Volleyball candidate, Allie Borales. She's a setter, middle hitter. And I talked to Coach Betty Rubel. She said Josie Bloom, their libero, is really stepping up. How she can step up is beyond me because she was amazing against us when we got our first loss, or our only loss. Coach Rubel also mentioned Bianca Giglio. She's also really picking up her play. On Tuesday night, junior middle hitter Grace Venus led the team with 11 kills and 1 error. That's a pretty efficient stat line right there.
Notre Dame Prep will be taking on Marysville in the regional final. Vince, what do you like about this matchup?
I like Notre Dame Prep in this matchup. I think they're just too much for Marysville. Marysville's young as a team, and I think they're going to be pretty good next year and the year after, but I think Notre Dame Prep's experience is going to kind of carry them to the next round.
Staying in Division II, we head to Mount Morris for a regional semi-matchup between North Branch and Essexville Garber. The Lady Broncos, who are coached by Jim Fish, have been a consistent program over the last 15 years. That includes 3 state titles. And in this match, they would go on and sweep Garber in 3 sets to move on to the regional final.
They were 52-3, and we knew that was going to be a battle. I mean, you don't win 52 of your 55 matches and not, they really didn't wilt. First game, we were down almost the whole set, and then we had a huge run at the end and beat them 25-18. Second game was nip and tuck the whole time. Our setter made a huge play at the end to win that. And then third game, we kind of, took control, which is what I was hoping we would do. But that's a great team, well coached, and we're happy to be moving on.
Jim Fish, head coach at North Branch, is every year his team's good. He does a really nice job of training them from day one to day, we'll say 100. They're significantly improved. They're always a threat in the postseason, as you can see from the 3 state titles. They have a heavy sophomore class. They have 5 starting sophomores and then 1 starting junior. So they're going to be pretty good for a few more years to come. A couple of them that stand out is outside hitter Elena Deshetsky. She's a sophomore. Sophomore setter Adrian Greshaw, who does a really nice job delivering the ball. And then I think you got to look out for sophomore middle Kayla Chingwa. She does a really nice job at forcing teams to hit around. And North Branch has a great libero as well, and Kayla helps funnel that ball to the libero.
North Branch will now take on Birch Run in the regional finale. Vince, your thoughts on this game coming up?
I like Birch Run a lot. Their libero, Callie Cook, is a high-energy kid, covers the court well. I just think North Branch's experience and their skill is too much for Birch Run. I think North Branch is going to win in 3. I think we're going to see them in the state semifinals at least next Friday.
Well, moving on to Division I, we had a very good match between Lake Orion and Lakeland in the regional semi at Novi High School. This would go to a 5th set tiebreaker, and it would be the Dragons that were just too much, and they're going to play for a regional title.
We talked all week about how much improved Lakeland is over the course of the year, and that they're a tough team. We knew it wasn't going to be a quick game, and unfortunately we were fighting from behind the whole night, but we just talked about keep believing, play 1 point at a time. At some point we're going to get our style of volleyball rolling, and the last 2 sets we kind of did that.
Vince, you were there because Marion had to play right after, so what were your thoughts about this one?
Lakeland's been very impressive all season. I think Megan Pulse, the coach at Lakeland, has done a really nice job of turning that program around. They beat Clarkston in the district finals, which was on paper a big upset, but they've really got some nice pieces, and I think they gave Lake Orion everything they can handle. Eve Martin had a great day attacking and setting. She does a nice job running her offense when she's in the back row, when she's in the front row. She's a terminal threat. When it came down to it, junior outside Nina Horning was just too much for Lakeland. She was very dominant, especially in that fifth set.
Awesome, and the Dragons will now play the defending champion Marion on Thursday night in the regional final. Vince, let's break down this one.
I'll try not to give any motivational
Little bias,
parts
maybe?
for Lake
We'll see.
Orion. You know, Coach Tony, a good friend of mine. I think for Marion to win, they really need to continue to focus on improving their first contact. If we can stay in system, we're tough against anybody, and that'll be the goal. For Lake Orion to win, they really need to have a good defensive effort, just keeping the balls alive, both at the net, blocking well, and then Nina's got to step up her level of play even more, you know, maybe to the next level. So I think it'll be a great match.
And quickly, Vince, what other regional final matchups are you looking forward to in all the divisions on Thursday night?
Well, for Division I, Rockford and Forest Hill Central, we played them both, and they're both strong teams on the west side. I think Rockford is very well coached, and they're offensively fast. I think that's going to be a problem for Forest Hill Central. I think it'll be a back and forth battle with Rockford winning in 5 is my prediction. Another regional final that really stands out is Northville and Saline. They played twice this year and they split, both in best of 3 tournament format games. So that one, again, another one that I think is very captivating. It'll be, if you're a fan, I'd go check it out because I think you're going to get your money's worth, and I think Northville is going to win that match in 5. In Division II, one regional final that really stands out, Grand Rapids Christian versus Unity Christian. Unity Christian, in the past, this match would be, you'd circle it, Grand Rapids Christian is going to win it 3-0. Unity's had a really strong year. They've been in the top 10 all season long, quietly just kind of moving through the season and getting better. So I think they can give Grand Rapids Christian some fits, but their Miss Volleyball candidate I think is going to kind of take over when she needs to, and I think Grand Rapids Christian will win in 4. In Division III, West Michigan Christian, the #1 team in the rankings for Division III, will play North Point Christian, and North Point is a very strong program as well. Every year, Division III, they do really well, and I feel like they're in this spot every year. I don't think they can hold that, though. I think West Michigan Christian is going to be in Battle Creek next weekend. I think West Michigan wins in 4. For Division IV, I highlighted 2 of them. Battle Creek St. Phil versus Athens. Battle Creek St. Phil's always in their hometown playing at the end of November, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I know Athens is ranked ahead of them this year, but I think Battle Creek St. Phil is going to win a closely contested match in 5. And in our last Division IV final preview, you have Allen Park Intercity Baptist versus Plymouth Christian. Plymouth Christian has what it takes to win a state championship. A few weeks back, I talked about Allen Park being kind of a dark horse, Allen Park Intercity, and I'm going to call an upset here and say Allen Park Intercity is going to win in 5. It's going to be a battle of the 2 big hitters that both teams have, and I think Allen Park Intercity is going to shock the world.
This program is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Officials are in need and invite you to check out Being an Official. Great part-time pay, and you can stay in the game. Go to MHSAA.com for details. Help wanted? Just whistle. And we go to this week's Game Changers segment, brought to you by the Detroit Medical Center.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramus from DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about a safe return to sport and physical activity after having COVID-19. For athletes returning to sport after having COVID-19, it's important to answer a couple medical questions to make sure you have a safe return to your sport and physical activity. 3 of the common complications after COVID-19 include, number 1, the lungs. We have decreased lung capacity or lung volumes, a lot of times shortness of breath, and a dry cough. Let's start and look at your respiratory rate. Normal is between 12 to 20 breaths per minute. You can simply see how many times you breathe in and out in 1 minute. And look for the quality of those breaths. Number 2 is heart function. Your normal resting heart rate, if you're 5 years old to about 15 years old, is somewhere between 70 to 100. The younger you are, the higher your heart rate. Now, a highly trained athlete will have a heart rate somewhere between 48 to 50. Now, to go ahead, you can take it simply by feeling your pulse with your 2 fingers on the inside by your thumb and see how many pulses there are in a minute. Or you can rely on some of your technologies like your Fitbit, which pick up your heart rate. If you have a normal resting heart rate, then let's look and see if those 2 systems, your lungs and your heart, are working well together. To test these 2 systems, you can use a simple pulse oximeter. You can get this online or your local pharmacy. It measures 2 things, your heart rate and your oxygen. Simply place it on your index finger and rest. It'll give you that resting heart rate, and then it'll give you an oxygen rate. This should be on the good end of 99, and on the low end of a normal is 95. So if your pulse oxygen measures normal, the next thing to do is a treadmill test. This is a 6-minute walk at a moderate pace. Measure your pulse oxygen before you start, during the walk, and then once you complete that 6-minute walk. Those numbers should remain constant, and if they're not, you need to consult with your physician before returning to sport. To safely return to sport or physical activity after having COVID-19, see an expert at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
And back in the studio, the Miss Volleyball Award will be handed out on Monday, November 15th. So good luck to all of our finalists. Vince, I was going through the list, and we have 9 out of 11 finalists that will be playing for the regional title on Thursday night.
Yeah, they're all impressive athletes that are playing on great teams. And usually when you have a Miss Volleyball, it's not just about how great that individual is, it's how they make their teammates around them better. And I think it's an impressive showing for this year's candidates.
That's all we have for you on this week's edition of Above the Net. Good luck to all the teams in the regional finals tonight. For Vince, I'm Lexi, and we'll see you next time on Above the Net.
State Champs Above the Net is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers 24 varsity sports, including women's volleyball, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Above the Net is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, proud sponsor of the MHSAA. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers.